serious harm, I am afraid, has been wrought to our generation by fostering the idea that they would live secure in a permanent order of things. Instead of comparing our lot with that of those who are more fortunate than we are, we should compare it with the lot of the great majority of our fellow men. It then appears that we are among the privileged. We are never really happy until we try to brighten the lives of others. Silver is purified in fire, and so are we. It is in the most trying times that our real character is shaped and revealed. The danger of having the Constitution twisted and misconstrued to support vested interests and prejudices must be guarded against if American democracy is to maintain a progressive character. What we once enjoyed and deeply loved we can never lose, for all that we love deeply becomes a part of us. It is wonderful how much time good people spend fighting the devil. If they would only expend the same amount of energy loving their fellow men, the devil would die in his own tracks of ennui. The test of all beliefs is their practical effect in life. If it be true that optimism compels the world forward and pessimism retards it, then it is dangerous to propagate a pessimistic philosophy. We have seen that the world's philosophers, the sayers of the word, were optimists, so also are the men of action and achievement, the doers of the word. Burn brightly without burning out. Throw your heart over the fence and the rest will follow. Keep your face to the sunshine and you won't see the shadows. Be happy, talk happiness. Happiness calls out responsive gladness in others. There is enough sadness in the world without yours. We should not think of conversion as the acceptance of a particular creed, but as a change of heart. That the sky is brighter than the earth means little unless the earth itself is appreciated and enjoyed. Its beauty loved gives the right to aspire to the radiance of the sunrise and sunset. Silence sits immense upon my soul. Then comes hope with a smile and whispers, "There is joy in self-forgetfulness." If I am happy in spite of my deprivations, if my happiness is so deep that it is a faith, so thoughtful that it becomes a philosophy of life, if, in short, I am an optimist, my testimony to the creed of optimism is worth hearing. Christmas Day is the festival of optimism. The unselfish effort to bring cheer to others will be the beginning of a happier life for ourselves. The only lightless dark is the night of ignorance and insensibility. When one comes to think of it, there are no such things as divine, immutable, or inalienable rights. Rights are things we get when we are strong enough to make good our claim on them. The best preparedness is the one that disarms the hostility of other nations and makes friends of them. I distrust the rash optimism in this country that cries, /hurrah, we are all right, this is the greatest nation on earth, when there are grievances that call loudly for redress. Do not think of today's failures, but of the success that may come tomorrow. To keep on trying in spite of disappointment and failure is the only way to keep young and brave. Failures become victories if they make us wise-hearted. Love is like a beautiful flower which I may not touch, but whose fragrance makes the garden a place of delight just the same. When we do the best that we can, we never know what miracle is wrought in our life, or in the life of another. The true test of a character is to face hard conditions with a determination to make them better. It is certain that I cannot always distinguish my own thoughts from those I read, because what I read becomes the very substance and text of my mind. People are too prone to think that the actual is the limit of possibility. They believe that all that has been done is all that can be done. I cannot see the lovely things with my eyes, but my mind can see them all, and so I am joyful all the day long. Tolerance is the first principle of community. It is the spirit which conserves the best that all men think. Poverty is the fundamental cause of most of the physical, moral, and economic ills of humanity. But there is not space to mention all my friends, and indeed there are things about them hidden behind the wings of the cherubim, things too sacred to set forth in cold print. One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. We must not creep along when our souls cry out for us to soar. The heresy of one age becomes the orthodoxy of the next. Mere tolerance has given place to a sentiment of brotherhood between sincere men of all denominations. I used to feel along the square stiff boxwood hedges, and, guided by the sense of smell, would find the first violets and lilies. The beginning of my life was simple and much like every other little life. I came, I saw, I conquered, as the first baby in the family always does. Self-pity is our worst enemy, and if we yield to it, we can never do anything wise in this world. I learned that it is possible for us to create light, sound, and order within us no matter what calamity befall us in the outer world. A bend in the road is not the end of the road. The wise fools who sit in the high places of justice fail to see that in revolutionary times vital issues are settled not by statutes, decrees, and authorities, but in spite of them. The most important day I remember in all my life is the one on which my teacher, Anne Mansfield Sullivan, came to me. The highest result of education is tolerance. Long ago men fought and died for their faith, but it took ages to teach them the other kind of courage, the courage to recognize the faiths of their brethren and their rights of conscience. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. The world is sown with good, but unless I turn my glad thoughts into practical living and till my own field, I cannot reap a kernel of the good. With every friend I love who has been taken into the brown bosom of the earth, a part of me has been buried there, but their contribution to my being of happiness, strength, and understanding remains to sustain me in an altered world. How easy it is to fly on paper wings. Look the world straight in the eye. My share of the work may be limited, but the fact that it is work makes it precious. Thus it is that my friends have made the story of my life. In 1,000 ways they have turned my limitations into beautiful privileges, and enabled me to walk serene and happy in the shadow cast by my deprivation. Many scholars forget, it seems to me, that our enjoyment of the great works of literature depends more upon the depth of our sympathy than upon our understanding.